You know, this play, Last Out, Elegy of a Green Beret, has a lot of powerful stories. Stories that are all based on truth. Some of them happened to me. Some of them happened to guys that I served with that didn't come home, to our families. But what I don't think I expected with this tour that really got me was the stories that came from the audience. The stories that came from the men, the women, the husbands, the fathers, the wives, the sisters, those that lived the war and that sat out there in the audience and participated in the show with us. One of the most powerful stories I've ever heard was when we were in Vermillion, South Dakota, and we were performing the play there, and a gentleman named Briest and his wife Jenny came to the show, and they were sitting in the front row right out there. And Corey was severely injured in Iraq. He hit an IED, and the blast took away his vision, and his other 3 teammates in the vehicle were killed. It rocked the little community of Vermillion to its core. But as Corey sat in that front row, and my character Danny was talking about a silly band. He was telling his wife Lynn about a silly band that his son Caden had given him just that morning at breakfast, called the Magic Silly Band, and how it was going to keep him safe. I could feel and hear Corey in the front row moving and shifting. After the show was over, Corey's dad brought him up in a wheelchair, and he said, "Hey, Scott, I just want you to know that show was really powerful and that it really meant a lot to Corey." He said, "Look down at his wrist. You'll see a white ring around his wrist." I looked down and I saw it. He said, "That's where Corey's silly band was that his daughter gave him, and it was burned into his skin when he hit the IED." And it was in that moment that I really figured out the essence of what we're doing, what this is really all about. And the stories that we tell up on the stage are really the same stories that these warriors and their families have been living for years. And Corey and Jenny really taught me something that day about the power of story, about the power of love, about the power of healing. And I don't think I'll ever forget it. I don't think any of us will ever forget it when we stood up on that stage that day and honored them for their service and sacrifice and love of community and courage. I think it changed all of us. I know it changed me. And now when I talk about this silly band and the play, it'll come from a different place. And Corey and Jenny gave me that.
To Corey and Jenny and your entire family, this is a poster from all of us, and we signed it. Can you see it? There we go. There. Thank you for your sacrifice and your courage. Your quiet leadership is an example for us all. We dedicate this show to you. David Preston Lebeck. God bless you. Thank you for letting us be part of this. Thank you so much.